last weekend we had, of course, Valentine's Day. And what else would you take your darling love to see but Sonic the Hedgehog?
So, yeah, I liked Sonic.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Thing is, I thought it'd be the type of thing I would hate. You know? But also, video game films are famously terrible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, so, I can't name
Resident
one that's
Evil,
really good.
Alone in the Dark, Doom.
Tomb Raider's okay.
Tomb Raider's probably as good as it's been before. Oh wait, there's Warcraft got some reviews.
That was okay.
That was good.
I remember that.
I didn't see it.
That was the type of film that you would enjoy if you were a fan and you knew the lore.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see those things bring to life.
Which is why I didn't go to see it.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I think because it was very good on its lore and and its representation of the game characters and all that. But I think objectively, like, people who don't know about that didn't enjoy it. So, anyway.
Yeah.
But that had some really... But not talking about Sonic. Warcraft. Anyway, Warcraft had some really good fight scenes in it. And the stuff with the orcs was really good. Like,
wait, there's orcs and...
Yeah.
Why am I surprised by that?
Why are you surprised?
For some reason I always associate orcs as being exclusively Tolkienian. But then, of course, so many things rip off Tolkien.
Exactly, yeah.
Because, I mean, Skyrim has orcs.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's no orcs in Sonic.
No, there's not orcs in Sonic.
You can put that on the poster. 100% less orcs. Ciné Rambles.
What's your review of Sonic? No orcs.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's up to you.
Do you want orcs? This is how you get orcs.
Could our rating system be how many orcs out of 10?
Sure. For Sonic exclusively.
Yeah, well, how many orcs out of 10 would you give Sonic then?
I think that'd be revealing my opinion too early.
Oh, okay then. Well, Sonic came out was it on Valentine's Day?
Which I find hilarious.
Well, yeah.
Because the number of awkward teenagers going with their first loves on a little date, and I was like, can we see Sonic the Hedgehog? I'm like, yes, you can.
Yeah. No, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Well, it was better than I expected it to be. I really liked Sonic as a character because I really like Ben Schwartz, who plays Sonic.
Yes.
Who is...
What else has he done?
He's John Ralphio in Parks and Recreation.
Oh, okay. That would explain the annoyance.
Did you...
Well...
What? But so I really like him in Parks and Rec, and I think he was a very good choice for Sonic. Like the fast-talking, I want to say Spider-Man-esque. Do you know what I mean? Like the...
What, sort of...
Non-stop.
Constantly making witticisms.
Yeah.
Another thing I really don't like about Spider-Man.
Wow. But yeah, I really liked it, and there's some good things. Jim Carrey was better than I was, because I don't really like Jim Carrey in many things, but I thought he was good in this. He was a decent villain. He played the, very full of himself, like, what's it called? Over the top, like, antagonist very well, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. James Marsden. Poor James Marsden.
Poor James Marsden.
Yeah.
Why poor?
Because he's in some absolutely turds of films, and I feel bad because he's never the worst part. Like, he always tries.
He's the Wachowski, isn't he? The police officer.
He's the police officer.
I thought he was pretty good. He's
alright, isn't he? He's never the worst part, is he?
Yeah.
He's in Hop. Do you remember Hop?
I do remember Hop.
Yeah.
Not that I saw it, but I
because he's also
existed.
the CGI character's friend in Hop as well.
This seems to be a worrying typecast to put into. But I mean, I suppose it takes a certain talent to be able to act alongside something that's not there.
Yeah, and I think he obviously does do it very well.
Yeah.
I think he was good, and I think the CGI holds up.
So talking to CGI, I would like to basically preface this review by talking about, of course, there's the controversy with, well, controversy is probably the wrong word, but of course the trailer came out last year with the horrific Sonic design that's been doing rounds on the internet.
So I want to talk about that as well.
Okay. Well, I just want to say basically, regardless of what might be said about this film, because it's not an amazing film, but I almost say, considering the incredible hard work the animators put into this last minute and that sort of, I guess, the desire to actually try and make an effort and listen to the fans and make it look good.
That's what I want to say. That like what I really did like about it is this doesn't feel like a money grab. It could have been, and if they left it how it was, it would feel like a money grab, that they're just releasing something with the Sonic IP just because, maybe the kids will like it and we'll get some money. Whereas because they've spent so much money redoing it, it feels like, or at least the animators have put lots of passion and love into this project, and it elevates the whole thing, I think.
And also considering the way animators get constantly abused in the industry, and in Sonic in particular, I think a large amount of them got laid off around Christmas.
They did, yeah.
So I think basically, regardless of how good the film is, I would say it's worth getting a ticket just to support and sort of, support the animators, support the sort of the ability to take criticism and work on it to make a better film rather than just releasing cats.
Yeah. The other thing is, I think it shows that these big companies aren't like infallible. You know what I mean? Like and it gives the fans some sort of power. Not that fans need power, but it gives them the chance to, like, a company says like, people don't like this, rather than sticking to our guns and losing a load of money, we're just going to, do it. But then on the devil's advocate, you can say, are they crumbling under pressure? Do you think they should have just stuck with their guns? And
because I think there's no virtue in sticking to something that's been provenly bad out of pride.
Well, then that's the thing. I never watched the original trailer because I had no interest in it, basically, and I don't really like watching trailers. So after I'd seen the film, I then went and watched the original trailer with the original CGI, and I don't think it was that bad.
I respectfully disagree, because I've since gone back and seen bits of the trailer, and
it's not, well, the way people are reacting, it's like, this Sonic was the rebirth of the Antichrist and the end days were coming.
I would argue that the old version of Sonic is at least approaching Cat's level of creepiness.
I mean, it wasn't terrible. Like, if they had their film like that, it would have just been okay. I think the redesign is vastly superior. Like, it is, million times better, but the old one isn't as dreadful as everyone says, I don't think. But then that's just my opinion.
I think the old one, I think, similarly to Cats, where a lot of the creepiness comes from the sort of the anthropomorphism, I think there's something
uncanny valley.
It's not so much uncanny valley, but I think there's something about the proportions of the old Sonic, like the sort of the length of his limbs compared to the rest of him, which doesn't quite. Also, and his head is what. There's something about it's not. Yeah. It's too
small.
Yeah, it's like the thing is because they're trying to go in the old version. They're trying to go sort of more photorealistic, somewhat. As opposed to the new one, they're more cartoony, but because he won't look real regardless. Having him have realistic proportions looks more weird than if he just has cartoon proportions.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I think trying to make him look real in especially in a video game movie where he's jumping around doing all these video game things, and Jim Carrey, to his credit, is a very video game-esque character. Yes. He's very over the top. His performance is very good. And I think seeing the new Sonic fits so much better in that world than the old one would have done, because he looks like you've taken him straight out of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, which I think is good.
The film, one of the big merits of the film is it does feel very much like it has the sensibility of a cartoon or of a video game. Like it doesn't try too hard to ground it. It's very much in this, physics almost entirely goes out the window at various points, and you know what, that's fair enough because it's Sonic.
It's Sonic.
And I thought, actually, with that in mind, Jim Carrey is. I wasn't entirely sold on the casting when I first heard it, but seeing him in it, I think it seems like perfect casting because he has that video game sort of element to his performance that's so over the top, so sort of elastic, like sort of how he was in The Grinch. That same kind of thing rings true here. I
would also like to just say quickly, Jim Carrey's face, the way he can manipulate his face is just incredible. Yeah, I think like his physical comedy is just outstanding, isn't it? Like how he can manipulate his face to do these things just to increase his comedy is just incredible.
And that's why I think he suits so well to these kinds of like completely over the top, like unrealistic, like cartoony kind of roles. Yeah, I think that's his absolute forte. Yeah, although I did at various points consider whether the Sonic film would have worked better as a straight up animation over live action?
I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting question, isn't it? But then,
because basically there's this whole thing about because video games are inherently, I mean, the technology's starting to get there, but inherently have a sort of cartoony in their design. Certainly older ones.
Yeah,
you just can't do photorealism in the 90s on a SNES. Sega Genesis, excuse me. But, so when we made the jump from a video game to a film, the default is to do live action. But surely, if they went animated, would that make
I think that would have worked with anyone other than Jim Carrey. Because Jim Carrey's such a physical performer.
He would actually probably lose some of it by being animated, which is quite a unique situation.
But I think because he has the presence that I think you would lose completely. But then you could have recast him, and then you would have got a more closer, like, body type, you know, and the crazy limbs, and, you know, Dr. Eggman, has very strange proportions, so But then I don't know. I do think there were a couple of scenes I thought were good, like the scenes where he goes
the quick
the
Quicksilver, because that's what they are. Those were definitely the highlight. That's when I was like, this is exactly what I want from a Sonic.
I was like,
going
that is
fast,
really
doing
good.
Sort of interesting, like basically like slapstick comedy with the witticism and the sort of going fast. It's like this works.
I did like that. However, it was completely ripped off from Days of Future Past.
To be fair, X-Men Days of Future Past also didn't start the trend either.
No.
Citation needed, but I'm pretty sure that has been done at least one other thing. Not counting bullet time from the Matrix, although that's sort of the spiritual birthplace of it.
Yeah. Because I think, but you know, there were bits like, would you say it's just a homage to it? Because I think it is. I think it's a homage more than a straight rip-off.
Homage, but the problem is, with an homage, you generally do it once. Well, Sonic does it three times.
Twice, isn't it?
At least twice. I think I counted 3. But
Really? I think it was twice. Because they do it once in the bar and then once on the roof.
Did they do it a third time as well later?
I don't think so.
Know.
Anyway.
I think the thing with Sonic, overall as a film, is obviously it's not high art and it's not anything really groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But then it's also Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie. So and for that, it's basically does as good a job as that possibly can. Like it doesn't stray too far from what a video game is inherently about. It doesn't try to load it down with too much like other baggage to try and make it seem like a grander story than it is, which I like. It's also like it's very briskly paced. Like it's dead on 90 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It wastes essentially no time at all getting to the point and just getting through its story.
There's a couple of things I want to say about it.
Yeah.
Firstly, I really liked, and I don't know, normally I don't feel like this, but I really liked that they left themselves open to a sequel. Because it feels like, in this, a sequel feels so natural, because there's so much left of the lore to explore, you know.
And so many more characters.
But for this, I feel like it works, like, and I genuinely want to see that. Whereas in like an Avengers film or whatever, those feel so forced because they're like contractually obliged to boost the next film.
Yeah.
Whereas this just feels like, oh yeah, there's some room for a sequel, and it's like, okay, I'm interested. Yeah.
Yeah. This is very much almost feel like a prelude to something greater in that sense, but not in a way that wasn't self-contained in itself. Like it was a simple story as it is. It was a complete story.
Yes.
I think that's actually what's one of the virtues. It is a simple story.
Like it's very simple, isn't it? It's,
which I think is the right way to go about it. To not overcomplicate it, to not bog it down with some other, like even the family stuff with Marsden. Marsden? Like it's there, but it's as much there as it needs to be a story. Like they don't focus for any longer than they absolutely have to on it.
Yes,
which is
and the other thing I wanted to say, the negative I thought was the conflict between the two characters, between the Sonic and James Marsden
was so contrived I didn't quite realise it was a conflict until they started going like, oh, well, you're going to leave him. Like, did he say that? I wasn't really...
So that was so forced, and I feel like there might even be a scene missing from there. It felt like they'd cut a scene out because it was so... I mean, in the space of 5 minutes, they go from being best mates to being like, oh, he's going to leave me, and then 5 minutes later, they're best mates again.
Also, what I didn't understand about that was Sonic's whole, want and neediness is to get home. Well, sorry, his want is to get home, to the mushroom planet.
Yeah. It's to escape Earth, isn't it?
To get out of danger. And so he's like, yes, my whole goal is to leave this planet. Yeah. And then a minute later, he's like, oh, so you're going to leave me? I'm like, yes, you want to leave. That's what has your goal changed? Of course, you're going to leave in the next couple of hours. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Oh, on a similar note, because that was during the car chase scene.
Yes.
The car chase scene, I think, is the highlight of the film. Like that.
Yeah, I thought it was
to me
really good.
Is exactly what I want from a Sonic. That recaptured the entire sort of what I find interesting about Sonic. But moving at high speed, you got the robots and using Sonic's powers against them in the sort of using. This sounds so mean when I say it, but using speed in interesting ways.
Yeah,
I think that what.
But I also really, I'm glad they managed to do the ball thing.
Yeah.
In a way that
sort of made sense.
Yeah, it made sense, but didn't look stupid. Yeah. And it worked, and it was cool, and it was like, that's like Sonic's main attack thing, isn't it? It's like, yeah.
I think at its absolute best, it reminded me of Sonic X, the animated series, with a similar kind of plot. And I know Sonic X isn't exactly the highest rated animated series of the time, but I thought it was really solid when I was like 8. So I was quite happy when it did reach those same kind of levels of sort of humour and.
I think it has heart.
Yeah.
The characters are good. They're strong. The performances are strong. Yeah. I think it is good, and especially for a video game film, I think it's very good.
That's it. I think it's good for what it is, and not high art, nothing exceptional or game changing.
Yeah.
But for a Sonic the Hedgehog live action film, it really couldn't get a huge amount better than it was, really.
Yeah.
Like, it played so many of its cards right.
Yeah. Also, because, again, we work in the cinema, like, kids absolutely love it.
Yeah, they won't shut up for the entire duration of the film.
Yeah, but every time kids come out, they're just sprinting around being like, oh, look, I'm Sonic. And it's like, kids obviously are loving that film.
And that's the thing, it's definitely aimed at kids and
like, no doubt,
fans.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And so as someone who's had a casual interest in Sonic growing up, but otherwise hasn't been that into it.
I liked that there wasn't that much fan service.
No.
There was a couple bits like the place on Earth is called Green Hills.
Yeah.
And what else is there? There's the post-credit scene. There's Jim Carrey looking like the proper Eggman.
Which is good. Also, there was a reference when he splits all his drones out at the top of the tower, trying to make some reference about his eggs, and I'm like, nice.
Oh yeah, and he says, "Oh, who are you, an Eggman?" Or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, that wasn't too bad.
It wasn't like none of the fan service was cringy or in the way or distracting in any way. I thought it was done really well. Like, I thought it was well written. Also, it made me laugh. Like, there was a couple bits that genuinely did make me laugh that I thought were good.
I'll say I don't think I laughed like properly out loud. I definitely chuckled a couple of times.
Yeah.
There are definitely moments where I think, well, I mean, this is probably quite obvious, but the Olive Garden promotions.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
The thing is, they tried to play them off as like, self-referential jokes, where it's like it's too. It wasn't enough. It was too sort of like.
There was so much product placement in that film. It was
distracting.
It was, but also when the little girl gives him the shoes, like the new shoes,
you can see the Puma
you
logo.
Can see the logo. I was like, oh my god.
It's like, so I know when Casino Royale came out. Was it Casino Royale? It was one of the newer ones, and they started making like drink Heineken.
That was Skyfall, I think.
Was it Skyfall?
So.
Yeah, and like, a lot of people were complaining about that, and like, but that's a small thing you can sort of like not notice. But with the way they have this like these lingering almost product placement, these shots of each of the brands they focus on is a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we don't have Olive Garden in the UK, so that was that was just ruining a film for out of the European version.
Yeah. No, Nando's, mate.
That'd have been interesting.
When the guy's at the end, he's like, "Oh, I've got you an Olive Garden gift card." Like, cheeky Nando's. Cool.
Any other final comments?
Would you recommend it?
I would recommend it if you're young and listening to this for some reason. But no, yeah, I think if you got like a family and you got sort of children under 10, I think they will definitely absolutely love this.
Yeah.
It's not essential viewing. It's not. I mean, I'd say you're not missing anything by not seeing it. However, as I said before, I do think if it's worth going for just to sort of support the animators involved.
Yeah. Do you think, just quickly, did you see Detective Pikachu?
No, I did not.
No.
Because that trailer that was just the film. Like, no, just no.
Yeah.
But I have heard people like that.
Well, the thing is, I had no want or need to go and see Detective Pikachu because that just felt a lot more like, oh yeah, Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds, but this time he's a small yellow mouse thing.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I was like, oh, I do actually want to see this because, I don't know, Ben Schwartz isn't enough of a, Ryan Reynolds has such a recognisable voice, I think.
It would just be Deadpool, but yeah.
Exactly. Whereas Ben Schwartz was different, and I felt like, oh yeah, I can get behind this a bit more.
Oh, another thing I want to say about Sonic quickly.
Yeah.
I did say I liked that it starts very briskly, but I think the random owl mother he has for all of a minute before she dies, I'm like, right, that raises a lot of questions, and it doesn't take enough runtime to really be worth raising that many questions.
Also, Baby Sonic was kind of cute.
Yeah, but I think they should have just started with. Oh, also it starts with a action scene, record scratch. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah,
like,
classic.
no. So I think if shave off the first sort of 3 minutes and just simply start with like, I'm Sonic, I'm hiding on Earth because I'm a freak from a different planet.
Yeah.
That's all you really need to know.